Okay, thank you for joining me for episode 5 of Book Talk. This is Eric B. Author. Okay, now in the last episode I talked about my first book. Now we're going to talk about my second published book. This book, The Great American Adventures of Modern Big City Railroading, was published and released in January of 2014. Um, this book is a story about a subject that I know that I am very familiar with: public transportation. Public transportation. But when I first thought about writing a book about public transportation, because I've always had strong feelings about public transportation. Matter of fact, before I became an author, when I was just jotting crap down on sheets of paper and notebook paper, I would often write my thoughts about public transportation, the crazy stuff I saw while riding public transportation. And boy, let me tell you something: if you've ever ridden public transportation in a big city for any extended period of time, you saw something crazy. You saw something crazy. Trust me. And so I realized, one thing when I realized I wanted to turn public transportation into a published book, I realized that I was not going to bore people with a whole thing about, oh, public transportation is so great, you should try public transportation. I thought to myself, I realized, you know what, if I'm going to write a story about public transportation, it would have to be something that people can relate to. And people can relate to thrill rides. This story is not just about public transportation. It's about a theatrical thrill ride of a lifetime, hosted by a strange character named Circus Larry. Circus Larry. And he gives a whole new spin on public transportation. And what is his spin on public transportation? Public transportation is the thrill ride, is the big city's the biggest thrill ride. And 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 what I basically tried to do is I tried to turn public transportation into the ultimate big city tourist site, because that's what it is. That's what it is. And I'm telling you, you know, you know, when I say it out loud, it sounds like I'm, trying to create a billboard or something. But I'm telling you the literal truth. The literal truth is, the public transportation really is the big city's biggest tourist site, because public transportation leads to everything that's thrilling about the big city. Everything that draws you to that city is linked by public transportation. And that's the message I was trying to relay in this book. This is a fictional story. It's narrated by a journalist who just got fired from his job. And as he tries to figure out what is he going to do with his life now, he he stumbles into a big city, big public transportation event. He meets Circus Larry, and he has an experience that changes his life forever. And I'm not going to talk too much about this right now, but I am currently working on a sequel to this book. I'm not going to tell you what the title is, because I have this thing where I don't like to release the titles of books I have not published yet. Well, I at least like to wait until the book is in the publishing process before I start releasing the title, because quite frankly, I don't think the title will have any meaning for you until the book is at least on the road to being published. So this is another book that we'll talk about on a later day. Trust me, I could talk about this book for hours to you, but I don't want to hold you up here for hours, especially since this is a new YouTube channel. So we want to be careful with our time, and we'll don't worry, we will talk more about this book later. There will be many more videos about this book. Trust me. So talk to you soon. Thank you for joining me here today.